Hello and welcome to City Beat, your source for the latest news and information here in the city of Rocky Mount. I'm Media Relations Specialist Jesse Nunnery, and today I'm standing outside the Arts Education Building at the Imperial Center for the Arts and Sciences. Today we'll be meeting members of the Unity Cemetery Restoration and Preservation Project, and they'll be giving us a little bit of information about what they've done with this project over the past year. Unity Cemetery in Rocky Mount was formally established March 13, 1901. Located in Edgecombe County, the 18-acre cemetery is one of the oldest African American cemeteries in eastern North Carolina. The Unity Cemetery Restoration and Preservation Project is seeking to identify and connect local African American cemeteries with the Black Cemetery Network, which is a national initiative promoting the historic importance of African American cemeteries across the nation.
Yeah, it was March 2021. The City Council voted unanimously for the staff to move forward in trying to acquire Unity Cemetery for the city. And so then after they made that announcement, it became like a launching pad for the Restoration and Preservation Project. And so we were successful in acquiring the records for the cemetery, and the staff located space here in the Imperial Center Education Building. And so we just continue to work, sort out the files, box them up, kind of reorganize them, and recruit staff. And so then we recruited a historian and a researcher in November of 2021. We have a great team. I'd love to say that because it's a large team. I report directly to the city manager, and myself and two other team members we work with a larger team of directors of various departments, including IT, marketing and communications, human relations, engineering department, project management, property management, it's a large team, very large team. The rewarding parts to me is just the discovery of the additional information, the knowledge, the passion received from the community, the descendants, and people who are, especially the elderly people who have for years and years wanted to see something happen with Unity Cemetery, wanted to see the city take leadership in it. And so all of that's coming together. You know, it really feels good, and it's great to be a part of something that's moving, and you can see the direction that it's headed. That eventually, when it's all done, it's going to be a great project, and it's going to be a great asset to the community. We still have a list of quite a number of volunteers, and we are reaching out to them now to get them more connected to the project and helping with, especially with the records part, archiving the records, that kind of thing. To get engaged, you can reach us through the website, which is unitycemeterync.com, or call us at 252-972-1388. Or they can stop by the office. We're located in the education building of the Rocky Mount Imperial Center.
I have a lot of my information on the internet. I have a lot of websites dedicated to cemeteries and preservation, and I always knew that I had family here in Edgecombe County. So in a way, it was almost like kismet. They just came together. They were looking for someone who does exactly what I do in terms of not just cemetery preservation, but also capturing family history along the way. And it's a happy coincidence, but I'm glad they reached out to me because I've always liked this area and was very curious about it based on my own ancestry. And now I feel like I'm in a position to help other people find theirs. Actually, I got into it trying to keep a promise to an elder. About 20 years ago, I got very, very sick, and I actually ended up losing my kidneys, or my kidney function. And a great aunt in Portsmouth, Virginia, my great aunt Phil, she went to her church and asked everyone to donate on my behalf for the kidney transplant fund. And she did that. They all volunteered to help me. And so I always wanted to kind of give back, to kind of pay it forward, since so many people that didn't know me saved my life. And when she was passing a few years later, she was worried about our family bonds severing. We lived all over the country, we were separated, and she was afraid that we just kind of lose touch with one another and our family legacy would basically be gone. And so once I heard that, I thought, this is exactly what I want to do, to help give back to her, to honor her, and by extension, my whole family. But when I started looking into my family history, I got to the cemeteries trying to find where they were buried and saw similar conditions everywhere. The flooding, the broken graves, just essentially that they were just neglected and abandoned. And I thought, okay, this is exactly what I want to do. And as an extension of family history was to try to save these sites of heritage. And I was lucky enough to find my family in the cemeteries, but I thought they could so easily be gone. They were fragile, but they were so important to what it means to be African American in this country, to be able to trace one's roots going that far back. Actually, I got into it, keeping a promise to an elder, led to family history research, and it's expanded from there. And now whenever I can help any project or any people anywhere trying to save Black cemeteries, I offer to lend a hand. I know how hard it is, and I'm pretty good at it by now, learning how to tackle all the different problems that you might face. And so I'm happy to be here with this project. But in general, it's just an extension of family history for me, so that's how I look at them, is that they're family members. And I help reconnect families with each other. It's a very, very fulfilling role I think I play. This one is unique actually because most of the other projects I've worked on, you have nothing. There are no maps, there are no stated burial records. That you're going to have to kind of start from scratch with deeds and everything you can find to kind of fill in the gaps of that history. This project, I think we're lucky because there's so many records already through the Stokes family and other employees of the Stokes. Coming into this project, it's really helpful to have that kind of background and to have so many people that are invested in this project, having been working on working on the preservation of Unity for a very, very long time. And so I'm very happy to join this effort, as I see it an extension of a community project to keep Unity, to protect it, to preserve it, to save that history. And I'm happy that we're in a position now to, in essence, just continue that legacy that the community started. It's a very large project, and I'm glad we have a lot of different people with a lot of different strengths and coming from different disciplines to help out, because my role, in essence, is to capture all the history, to try to coordinate oral history studies, hopefully to engage the community, especially children and students, to come to Unity and see it as a tangible source of history and containing stories that maybe no one has known before, or trying to restore dignity to the lives of the people that were buried there.
Another member of our Unity Cemetery Restoration and Preservation team is Hap Turner. Mr. Turner serves as the project's heritage researcher. His duties include researching family members and assisting with the mapping of buried, locating those whose location might not be known within the cemetery, recreating maps, and identifying real estate of family members buried in the cemetery. We'd like to thank the Unity Cemetery Restoration and Preservation Project team for joining us today on City Beat. As always, you can find our episodes of City Beat archived on our City TV 19 YouTube page, as well as Southern Link TV 19. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.